Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. If you've been sticking by me through my progress through my channel here, I appreciate you checking out yet something else that I have to say, another message that I have to uh, speak before you, so to speak. Um, man, so much is going on in life. I tell you, so much growth and we're going to talk about a few things in regards to growth and spirituality. And today we're talking about something that's important to me, especially now that I have grown out of my stages and through my spirituality. I think a lot of people start off, not all, but start off, or there's people out there that started with getting in tune with their spirituality through a religious experience. Um, I think that's common. That's not uncommon. And I just wanted to talk about where I'm at now. And today, what I'm touching on and talking about is just that. Actually, that it's just me, wanting to just elaborate on my growth. And I really want to hear what you feel or think is growth in your spirituality. What is growth in spirituality? Period. Do you feel that what's related to that? I think that it's healthy to talk about your spirituality. There's pros and cons to it, and I think in life overall, you become a little vulnerable talking about your own personal situation, but it's part of growth. It's part of my growth, and that's something I've always been sincere about. Once again, my name is Roberto. If I didn't mention that already, I'll say it now. And I think that what I'm going to talk about today and what's entitled is totally true when it comes down to your spiritual journey in life, your spirituality as well. It's endless, and I've come to learn. I come to my own realizations of my own spiritual journey, and I'm wanting to share that with you and really see what feedback I get from you guys. What is some of the things you learned and in your own personal spiritual journey? Drop a comment. Once again, I appreciate some feedback, a comment. If you like what you hear, drop that like button, and I will definitely can use the support. So if you subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that. And so my spiritual journey, where I'm at now. Well, to break it down for me, it's been like a classroom for me. It's been like me taking notes, me doing research, me doing reading, me understanding other philosophies, interpretations in regards to other people and their spiritual journey. But for me personally, it's seven things that I've come up with that comes to play when it comes down to my own personal spiritual journey. Now, if these are some of the things that you can identify with, if you feel that, you know, I'm hitting something dead on with you and you just want to feel free to express, if you agree with some of the things that I've discovered in my personal journey. So let's get into that right now. Seven things. The first thing that I've learned in my spiritual journey is when it comes down to this journey, when it comes down to my personal spirituality, it's a consistent, endless process of personal spiritual growth, as well as being conscious of this. So, the first I will have to say when it comes down to my spiritual journey that I've learned is continuous spiritual personal growth. It's knowing that I'm not going to get everything right, I'm not going to understand things right away. And it's a process as I grow. It's like, us people, we grow from babies and we grow into stages in life and we're learning knowledge and different information. It's the same thing with my spirituality on my journey. It's about me growing, and it's about me having a consciousness of my spirituality, everything that comes into play with it, come to play. Um, that's very important. I've come to really learn that. So that was the first thing that I had to put, being conscious of my spirituality and my personal spiritual growth. Second, I've come to find that comes to play in my journey is pretty much similar to one, the awareness. My spiritual awareness is so very important, especially all these things that I'm different, new things that I'm learning day to day, week to week. Um, Having awareness of my spirituality and needs is important. It's so important that I pay mind to it, that I'm paying attention to it. And I think that that's something that awareness is key. And it's right there with the first one, that awareness. So that's two. Third, going on to the third is being in tune with my spiritual energy, being in tune with my spirit, my soul, um, and also being in tune with my spiritual environment, my spiritual existence, the spiritual world, the spiritual realm, if you will. I believe that there's a spiritual world, a spiritual realm that I may not have deep knowledge about at this moment. I do know some basics, and I do believe that I need to be in tune to the spiritual energies around me. So that's three. Moving on to the next one, four, I also come to find out how important it is for me to have my own personal source, to gain and have my own spiritual guidance and enlightenment. So when it comes down to our spiritual journey in life, we need spiritual insight. We need spiritual enlightenment. We need spiritual guidance. Now, how you get it, where you get it, that varies. And that's why I'm not going into the specifics. And though as I go further down my list, it may reveal just exactly where I get my spiritual guidance. But for having my source of spiritual guidance and enlightenment is key. So far, those are four things that have come to play in my spiritual journey. Now, five is also deeply important to me that I've come to discover is like central, it's the core of my spirituality. It's my spiritual faith, my spiritual beliefs, my spiritual understanding, my very spiritual foundation. Now, if you are, for example, a subscriber and you've been with been with me since I've grown and from the very beginning as I develop and come to make it, you know, clear to myself and you that I'm on a spiritual journey despite me starting through a previous religious experience as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Um, some of those things I still believe in. Some of those things I don't believe in. So I have to rightfully and being honest with self, understand where some of my foundation has the beginnings is from. So that's key. I believe in some things, maybe 2%, 1%, not the whole 100%, but that's definitely five. Spiritual journey, definitely more than likely, you probably have a foundation or a spiritual belief system, either or. So that's five on my list. Going further, something I've come to. It's now that I think about it, it could have been the first on the list, but hey, that's neither here nor there because I already made my list as I'm going through it. But I've come to, now that I think about it, as I'm on the spot. But number one, which is super, super important to me, just like the rest of these things that I've come to discover, is prayer. Oh my gosh, daily prayer, prayerful meditation, downtime, just time for yourself to reset your spirit, reset your, reset your spiritual senses. Just um, meditation is the very utmost important. I meditate every day. I pray every day. I do both every day. I set time to do that every day. I do it more than once every day. And on occasions, I will read some scriptural or biblical inspirations, something that's inspirational. Um, and that is number six on my list. So far, those are six things that come to play in my spiritual journey. I would love to hear what's in yours. Anything that you would like to share, something that might enlighten me. But the seventh thing that I've come up on my list of seven things that comes to play in my spiritual journey that I've come to discover. The seventh and last one is, had to add this on the list, um, is my spiritual, personal, intimate connection and relationship with God. Interacting with God's Holy Spirit, His personality, His love, and His wisdom. It's very highly important. Interacting with God is key. Prayer, meditation, and interacting through His Holy Spirit, and just sticking with Him and being close with Him and allowing Him to touch my heart, my mind. These is the seven key things that I've come to discover in my spiritual journey that has helped me grow to be, I mean, personally, I feel like, I was, I guess in for better terms, I was spiritually awoke when Jehovah touched my heart and helped me understand that, look, you don't necessarily need to be in this per se specific religion to interact with my Holy Spirit and with me. I can do that directly. And I've been doing it. So I don't have none against religion. I don't have none against my religious brothers and sisters. That's something that have my beginnings with, and I believe that all of us have different paths. But you know, no one can take away from you uh, having that strong mindset or conviction or belief that you interact directly with God. No one can take that from you, and no one can dictate that in any way, and that's key. And so we all have spiritual paths in our journey, in our spiritual journey. And it's a constant thing that we're learning about. We're learning about ourselves, we're learning more and more at the time. And it's a beautiful thing. It's something to be happy about when you're learning all these new different things that come into play, these key the key roles of all these things that makes up, part of the things, the sources that makes up your spiritual personality on your spiritual journey. So I just want to thank you so much for sticking through and allowing me to just express the discoveries that I've that I've, learned thus far on my spiritual journey. And I would really love to hear what are some of the things that you've learned or learning now or looking to learn. And what are some of the things that has really enlightened and opened your mind and your heart and your spirit up to, to a different understanding of, spirituality or your journey. Um, but, you know, it's a beautiful thing to know that, you know, that it's never a dull moment when you're being guided by God Himself and knowing the love that He guides us with and how He's always reminding us to share what we know, what we learn with others, because it's a beautiful reflection of who He is and what He's about. And I will continue to do so because I think that it just also shows that, I'm reflecting the type of love that I should be having in my heart with everyone else. And I know at the end of the day that that's making God happy. So, with that done and said, continue to keep learning and growing on your own spiritual journey because it's going to continue to become nothing but beautiful enlightenment and understandings. And it's just a beautiful ride. And to my next video, take care of yourself. I wish you nothing but spiritual peace, spiritual health, and spiritual happiness.